I've been meaning to ask, where are you from? That's a loaded question in many ways, and the first of this series of questions that we'll be walking through over the next several weeks. Where are you from? This isn't just a question about hometowns or current towns. I get asked this question a lot when I tell people about the teams that I like in sports. I'm a Washington Capitals fan in hockey, an Atlanta Braves fan in baseball, a New England Patriots fan in football, and in college sports, I love the Dukes of James Madison University and the University of North Carolina Tar Heels. Usually I rattle that off and people blink really hard and shake their head and say, "Where are you from?" Because there's no real central point in that weird tapestry of teams. And, well, I'm from Roanoke, Virginia. Southwest Virginians don't really have any geographic loyalty to pro sports teams. Friends from college got me into the Caps. My grandfather's old baseball coach went on to coach the Braves, so we rooted for them. My grandfather was also a diehard Carolina basketball fan, and I'm a JMU alum. And strangely enough, it was my love of NASCAR at an early age that prevented my dad from thoroughly indoctrinating me in the love for his New York Giants. And so I found the Patriots on my own. That's where I'm from. Each of us are a tapestry of not only the places, but the people who formed us. I'm a world traveler because my mom was, and she instilled that love in me. I'm a musician because that seemed to be where all my friends and I gravitated during middle school. I love Star Wars because I could see in my dad's eyes what a big deal it was when he introduced it to me in 1997. I'm Lutheran because my grandparents moved into a neighborhood in Youngstown, Ohio, a block away from a Lutheran church, and because Pastor Mark Radke was willing to visit my parents' house in 1992 when it came time to baptize me. And I'm a pastor because faithful women in the church saw gifts in me and put that question in my heart to grow through grace over many years until the time was right to harvest the fruit of vocation. Where are you from? That question is an incredible invitation to a depth of exploration with one another. When asked well, this question reflects a beautiful thing I like to call holy curiosity. Holy curiosity seeks the spark of the divine that lives in each of us, breathed into us by our loving Creator from the dirt of creation itself. Holy curiosity builds community and creates a future where each of us knows our value and values others in turn. Where are you from is a staple question in this work of holy curiosity. But I realize that as that question is asked of me when it comes to my sports loyalties, it can often be asked with a layer of confusion and judgment. Where are you from, scoffs this diehard Philadelphian who loves all things Philadelphia and can't begin to reconcile a palette of sports affections that spans the East Coast? Where are you from, chides the person who wants to know what side of town you're from, and if you're respectable. Where are you from, accuses the person who is already shutting down, wondering where you could have possibly gathered such a reprehensible worldview. Where are you from? Often behind this question is a search for worth and goodness, but it can be used for good or for evil. In our gospel lesson today, Philip, who had just been called by Jesus to follow me, found Nathanael and said to him, "We have found him about whom Moses in the law and also the prophets wrote, Jesus, son of Joseph." And unasked in this exchange is that familiar question. Well, where is he from? That Nathanael was sure to wonder. From Nazareth, Philip concludes. From Nazareth. Nazareth sat in the heart of Galilee, a region populated by Jews and Gentiles from several ethnicities. Speaking graciously, it could be said that it was a diverse region. The Jewish communities, at most, constituted about 60% of the Galilean populace. But Judea looked down on their neighbors in Galilee. Judea was over 90% Jewish. Those in Judea paid the temple tax. They kept the rituals more rigorously, and they were less likely to intermarry. On the other hand, Galilean Jews were less likely to pay the temple tax, more lax in their ritualistic traditions, and more likely to intermarry. Their Judean cousins saw the Galilean Jews as less pure, if not impure. So Nathanael said, "Can anything good come out of Nazareth? Where are you from?" At its worst is a skeptical search for goodness, a question that expects no return, a question of judgment that is already answered. Weaponized by judgment and superiority, that question can mark entire swaths of people with ridicule and dehumanize them instantly. Can anything good come from that side of town? Can anything good come from that country? Can anything good come from someone so poor or so different? Just as easily as this question of where are you from can be used to uncover a rich tapestry of connection and beauty, it can be weaponized to prop up differences, create foregone conclusions, and leave bias unchallenged, thus feeding the beast of prejudice. In order to build connection and trust, in order to become disciples and truly live as God's people, we need to listen to each other's stories and experiences to learn who and what has shaped us. We also need to feel seen and known for who we are. In this series that we're beginning today, I hope to equip each of you to live out Christ's love by having a whole tool belt of questions that build holy curiosity. I pray that these questions can begin to affirm the particularity of our identities while also acknowledging our common ground with others. Formed from the dust and God's very breath in the Garden of Eden, we have a common home, a shared birthplace, a collective calling to sustain and care for all of creation. The story of Jesus calling the disciples provides a helpful framework to the bold invitation of discipleship that is not built on judgment that excludes, but abundant and joyful invitation to come and see what the journey holds. Where are you from is often coupled with assumptions, judgments, and even microaggressions, all of which can be exhausting and painful to receive. As we witness to the bias and prejudice our Lord Jesus Christ faced by his neighbors, let us embrace the call to break this vicious cycle. Let's acknowledge, disrupt, and release the assumptions we hold about others. Because we are people of the same garden, people of the same love, people who each embody a rich tapestry of life and love that all weaves back to the same source. Holy curiosity invites us to see that, both in our lives and in the lives of others. This holy curiosity that replaces judgment and fear can be life-saving to those who don't feel safe to live in their skin, who fear being judged at best and fear for their lives at other times. So pick a friend, a neighbor, or even a stranger this week. Pick up the study guide that we're offering with beautiful imagery and helpful reflection questions. Find someone to walk through these questions with an open spirit of holy curiosity. Where are you from? What rich and beautiful answers will we find on this journey together? Come and see. Amen.